What? I said, does anyone know where the mushrooms are? Gypsaros helmets, high metal armor, high metal gloves, high metal waist, Gypsaros legs. Witness the birth of Conga Core. Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, when it comes to Monster Hunter, one of the most important parts of the game and the series as a whole is the fashion. We all live to hunt, but what does that matter if you don't look dang good while doing it? We pride ourselves in our love of Monster Hunter fashion here on the channel, and it's always fun to share that love with you all, especially in our fashion show series where we'll be showing off your own sets to the rest of the community. This is our second episode for Wilds. Last week was a relatively smaller show, but you guys sent us so many unbelievably cool fashion set submissions that there's no way we could justify keeping the list that small again. So from this point on, we've got a top 10 main list, as well as some honorable mentions as well, and then the classic cosplay winner of the week, and we'll have an entry for Josh's set of the week too to present near the end as well. If you want to send in your own fashion sets for consideration for future episodes, get some decent screenshots and clips of what it looks like, a nice slow spin to actually show it off, show the colors and the pieces involved, and then send them down to the link below the video, along with a label for what you want the set to be called and what you want to be referred to when credited for the set. As well, please don't send any links that have a limited time before they expire, or things like private Google Drives. Give us access when you send the link, send a shareable link, make it public, or else we just won't be able to look at your entry. And of course, we'll be looking for some nice fresh submissions after the title update comes, and the theoretical armor that will be added as well, which I'd say because I don't know what's in the update myself. All that out of the way then, we've got some absolute drip coming your way today, and for the sake of mentioning this is of course based on my own personal preferences and such from the submissions that I've seen. There's no objective marker for fashion sense in Monster Hunter. These are just ones that particularly called out to me for one reason or another. That said, starting off in 10th place, we have an unnamed set from Momonga. And I love the simplicity of this one. In a game with so many attention-grabbing armor pieces, so many thick or shape-altering pieces, this player has gone for a nice, subdued set using the eye patch for their headwear and actually building in a big, nasty hunter-fitting scar to stick the eye patch on top of, then the leather chest of all things, which looks incredible in this setup, the hope gloves, the battle waist, and the Piragil pants, which are the main sort of centerpiece of this setup, the glue that holds it together. The Piragil legs give this perfect scaly texture that actually makes all of the other darker blue bits on the outfit feel like they're also made of monster bits as well, despite the rest of them all just being sort of standard leathery bits. It's almost like an optical illusion, and it's just very visually pleasing to me. Next up in 9th place, we have Festival Dancer from McKee's. This set uses Hirabami gloves and waist together to form the sort of basis of the aesthetic. It then mixes it wonderfully with the Duna helmet, which is where the colors for the rest of the set come from, just matching the default Duna helmet theme because it's hard to change the actual colors on Duna, so I understand and respect that they've done this. The Blango chest fits in well here, despite the gold metal that is on it, and then the new Udra legs have the perfect fitting look up to the shin guards here. Because I know what these pants look like as a whole, the set simply wouldn't work if you could see above that point of the legs, but because of the setup that they have, because the other pieces they have around it, it works absolutely perfectly, because the waist cuts off the legs right where it does, and so on top of looking good, it has some interesting creativity going on as well, and I love that it centers around a generally unused color scheme as well. In 8th place today, we've got the Guardian Gladiator set, submitted by Magala, and this one also centers heavily around an Duna helmet, but this one uses the male helmet, which I find tends to be used much less by players, so it immediately gets my attention by doing that. But then mixing a Jarakan chest with the Duna arms is quite nice, and then matching the feathery bits of the seikret waist with the hair on the Duna helmet is actually a really nice touch, and then the Guardian Ebony Odogaron pants on the bottom giving it the matching glow and just fitting the general sort of theme of the rest of the set too. This gives it some really good shape as well, and then the undershirt turned on and color matched to keep the set feeling like one connected armor set the whole way through, rather than revealing places where it breaks off into different pieces because you can see your skin. It's very nicely done, and actually some very particular pigment work has been done here too if you look at the colors they've selected, and as they show on screen, the main glowing color of this set can be adjusted to your own preferences. Moving up to 7th place, we have Fortress of Might, submitted by Natsu20. This color match matching is quite nice. It uses pure proper black and then white as the counterbalance, which of course is lovely, generally speaking a classic color scheme, but it's actually the shape of this one that I really like. Specifically the rounded triangular shape of the silled hood directly going into the Gypsyros chest is a really nice sort of combination. Then using the battle arms and the Raydal legs to match the sort of indented features of the Gypsyros chest, and despite being much spikier and less soft, the Raydal legs feel like a perfectly matching companion piece to the silled hood in my opinion as well. And then the hope waist in the middle just sort of ties it all together. This one I think is more just something that appeals to my own preferences for what I like hunters looking like, especially having a much rounder and softer aesthetic than most people tend to like in their Monster Hunter fashion, but I really like this one personally. Next up in 6th place we have Queen Couture, submitted by Corsa, and this takes advantage of some underused colors and mixing together mainly 2 Apex monster armor sets, and I really love the look that this creates, especially when mixed with the hunter's visuals themselves. At its heart, this is a direct mix of Jin Dahaad and Duna armor sets, but the coloring makes it feel like a completely unique creation, honestly. The spread out metal look of the Jin Dahaad pieces, when recolored to that bone-like shading, almost feels like fish bones, which then fits incredibly well with the Duna pieces around it, but then changing it to a very sunrise type color palette really works well for this. The deep red orange, the bright blues, the bits of green around it too, and then just the hair color and the crown to tie it all together. Mostly, I just love the shaping and the color work on this combination more than anything else in particular. Moving on to 5th place, we have King of the Depths, submitted by Jeff K. This is an entire set built around matching with the Shiwu Greatsword, gold, black, blue. Those are the main colors, and I think it does an extremely good job. At first I was taken aback by the vibrant yellow that is used here, not even just sticking to gold itself, but mixing in a full deep yellow, but it sort of ties it all together, especially with the vibrant blue that they chose as well. The fact that this perfectly works as a set with the Shiwu Greatsword without any Shiwu armor pieces itself involved is also quite cool, but then I just love the way that the blue looks across the gore helm, the gore gloves, and the Damascus legs. It just fits perfectly. Overall, this is gore helm and gloves, Damascus chest and legs, and then Blango waist, but especially with the sort of matte texture of the Damascus pieces, there's just something so unique about the coloring and the way that it feels compared to most Monster Hunter fashion sets. How many fashion sets have you seen using just a vibrant block of yellow? In 4th place then, we have the Ebony Hound set, an entry from Artorias Blade. And while this definitely has an edgy kind of feel to it, the more I look at it, the more I like it, and the more I think about it, the more I appreciate it. It feels like there's a horror-themed masquerade party going on and you've been invited, so this is the outfit you would choose to take. The Guardian Odogaron helmet into the Lalabarina chest works surprisingly well, especially with its colors, and then the chest into the waist as well works incredibly, with the scaling bits of the chest working with the scaly bits of the waist too. Then into the Guardian Rathalos legs of all things, and despite being the only real red in the outfit, it is a very subdued red that blends slowly into the glowing color on this piece as well, making it work really nicely together as a result. Overall, this one is relatively simple as far as the colors, but it's the shapes and the theme behind it that I really quite like. Moving on to 3rd place then, we have the Scarab Titan set from Soul Sketched, and maybe I have a soft spot for semi-silly things, but you have to admit, even with the full beetle helmet silliness aside, this looks gorgeous together. I love Kranadath chest piece with Shiwu gauntlets. That's a fantastic combination, and mixing it further with Shiwu waist is great as well. I love this combination of 3 pieces. Using the beetle helmet's pigment to match the teal on the Shiwu is lovely, and then the near gradient-like effect going down to the Raydal legs with the deeper blue color instead, and then the little golden scaly bits too. It just feels like a perfect mixing of shape, color, and creativity to mix the armor pieces the way that they have been, with a sort of aesthetic that's probably a little bit more up my alley than most people's. Then in 2nd place today, we have Malay Red, submitted by Jittery Zeitgeist, and I feel like this one doesn't even really need words to explain. It's just absolutely striking the moment that you see it. The pure white mixed with the deep red aesthetic is a classic, which I'd say is a Canadian, but the use of arkveld waist with Guardian arkveld chest to mix the aesthetics of these 2 different sets, but then pull them back together through the pigments, the Ajarikon gloves fit perfectly with the coloring, the Ajarikon legs tuck in nicely underneath the waist, you can't even really tell they're there unless you're moving, and then the Oni horns wig with the perfectly matched skull face paint is an incredibly inspired combination. I love it when a set even uses character creation bits to mix and match with the armor choices and pigments, and this does it in such a wonderful way that you could easily convince me this was a pre-created NPC rather than a player-made fashion set. Before we dive into the number one slot for today then, let's go over this week's honorable mentions, which, to be clear, these are all sets that I think were extremely close to making the list for one reason or another, and I still want to show them off, and maybe I have some slight bits of ideas where I might make some adjustments myself personally. Obviously, fashion is subjective, to each their own, but adding in my own 2 cents just because I can. Here we have Rose Queen by Bribri-san. I love the use of the Melahoa waist, which is generally extremely underused as an armor set and as a piece especially. The way that it makes the legs flow nicely into the chest is quite cool, and the color matching done here is mostly great too. But the hat, despite me loving the shape of the Chemistry's hat, it has that forced red feather no matter what you do with it, and it just really sticks out to me compared to the rest of the set. My solution would be either to find a new hat, run the rest of this fashion without a hat, or just try and work around the red of the hat and make it match somewhere else in the armor pigments at least, but aside from that, I really do like this one. Then we've got the Blind Archer set from Pepper. I really like the color work for the most part. I think 4 out of the 5 pieces work great together, but Shiwu chest feels just slightly off here to me. The shape is nice, but the gold on the chest piece sticks out just too much for me to be okay with it. Otherwise, I love the combo of the other 4 pieces very, very much. Then we've got Blood Cloaked Warrior by I'm Horrible, and I absolutely adore everything up until you reach the helmet. The mixing of the Guardian pieces, the use of Balahara waist fitting the pattern of the tattoos on the Guardian Arkveld chest, the way that the Guild Ace gloves meld perfectly over the end of the tattoos, it's fantastic. And then the Shiwu hood just gets too in the way of it, in my opinion. This one without any helmet at all would be absolutely top tier to me. Maybe there's another helmet that might fit a bit better that doesn't have the gold bit sticking out of it, but again, that bit of gold on that hood stops it from matching the rest of the set properly, in my opinion. Then we have the Iron Berserker set from Unicron, and this one I don't have any specific fixes that I'd recommend, so much as I just wanted to share this one for looking quite cool, but not quite making the cut because I just personally like the ones that I've selected better. But I know this one is right up some people's alley, so I felt that it needed to be shared too. Speaking of which, we have Corrupted Shaman by Stoner D, and this one I specifically like the way they're able to color match the different pieces. Like, there's no way that I would expect new Udra waist to work with a mostly gore magala based set, but the way that they've worked in this very powdery blue and synced it across the pieces is actually extremely nice and holds the whole thing like a nice pile of glue sticking it up. This one has nothing I would necessarily change on it, it just didn't quite make the cut of my personal top 10. The final honorable mention then is Demoness, submitted by Scorch. This one visually is honestly fantastic. I really like the way the Ajarikon chest flows into the Gore Magala waist when it's dyed with these pigments, and in general I think this one looks absolutely lovely as far as the mix of shapes and pigments, but the coloring due to the material of the Ajarikon chest piece just slightly mismatches the actual gore bits color-wise, not in the parts that you have control over. This isn't the fault of the player by any means, but outside of that I think this one looks really, really good. There's just that one fault that sort of sticks out a little bit too much to my brain and I just can't get over it, but I also appreciate the little purple frog as well. Then finally, before we get to number 1, our cosplay winner of the week is motherfucking Lisa Simpson, submitted by the editor. I don't know what possessed you to do this. I don't know why this has been thrust in front of my eyes, and yet I cannot deny this is one of the funniest friggin' things I have seen in this game. So hats off to you. This one is incredibly well done. I don't even really know what to say to you because I'm almost upset at how good this is. It's very much a so bad that it's good, but it's so good in that exact way. Finally then, let's talk about our number 1 entry for the day, Death Marine by Peanut 225. What on earth is this goggly glory that you have given us, Peanut? Holy lord. This uses the bony color inherent to Death Sten's chest and the bone armor helmet as a basis, then adjusts both Gravios gloves and Arkveld's legs to match the actual bone color and make it look like they're bone themselves, which looks absolutely incredible. Then you've got the red leathery aesthetic carrying from the chest down into the Balahara waist, looking like it's quite literally cut from the same cloth. Like, it looks like it's one continuing piece of fabric through the belt despite being 2 different armor pieces. The straps match, the steely metal on the legs matches with the metal in the middle of the Death Sten's chest as well. It's just this absolute perfect melding where the shape of every one of these pieces flows from one to the next perfectly. The colors are matched lovely the whole way up, and they all fit well together to begin with. The texture, even on every piece, is carefully considered because it flows into each other well too, and you can tell the pigments were chosen very deliberately as well. And in the end, it creates a set that I would believe you if you told me it was one created by the developers to be a proper cohesive armor set. If I obviously didn't know about the 5 monsters involved beforehand and already know what their armor looked like. And of course, the extra cherry on top of this is that it doesn't double up on any sets. This is 5 pieces from different individual armor sets, which, while not a requirement for good fashion, shows a hell of a lot of creativity in making it all fit together as well as it does. So say congratulations to Peanut225, who shall henceforth be known as Fashion Master 2000! And before we end for the day, of course, it couldn't be a day of fashion without Josh, who has assured me that this is going to be an extremely important message.
So you want to be sneaky? A little sneaky, shadowy boy, yeah? You wanna sneak around the place? Step 1, don't have bright pink hair, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Step 2, get Lala Barina, male arms, Oof Duna, male chest. Keep that head free-flowing in the breeze. And then a suture waist, and that one blade armor that everyone forgets the name of because it's the one that comes with the extra edition of Monster Hunter Wilds for your legs. Make it all grey, matching, and gorgeous, and you're ready to assassinate some sort of feudal lord.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for dressing me up as a ninja and making me look nice, I guess. Now I need to go find some sort of feudal lord to assassinate, apparently. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember to submit your own fashion sets in the link down below, and let us know your own thoughts on any of the fashion shown here today in the comments as well. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay chic.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.